Welcome back to Twisted Ignition. I'm Rick.
I'm Mike.
I'm Nate, and we are back on the budget build C-10 project. It has been a while since we worked on it, but don't worry, we're going to be going right back into it like it never stopped.
Yeah.
That's because we have a big time crunch we're coming on, because in May we have the Outer Banks Rod and Custome Festival that we are making for 2025.
Yeah, this rig's got to make it there. It is January already, so we are kind of cutting it close, but hey, whatever.
It is definitely crunch time, but if you have any interest in this project, go back and see some of our old videos where we start tearing it apart, start modifying a whole bunch of stuff, and making it look the way it does now. We're going to catch you up to speed very soon.
Let's get into it. All right, to catch you guys up on what we did, this is what we did before, is disassemble the whole truck, the front and the rear. If you caught our video before, we had shown you, we actually mounted the bed and looked at it from the side, made sure everything was gonna work out the way we wanted it to. Check out that video if you missed it. But this is us disassembling the rest of it again so that we could paint and finish welding the back of the frame. So now we're just putting it in its current home.
All right, with that fast forward clip, you could see that we got the other fender off, and the reason why we kept this fender on is because now you could tell the reason why we dropped the bed is to get that perfect body line from the door to our fender.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch our last video about the bed, these cross members were actually mounted on a lower bracket below and flipped over. Now we put a new C-channel, not C-channel, angle iron. Wow, can't use words today. New angle iron up for, what was it, 3 inches? 4 inches?
3 inches.
3 inches higher, which raised our bed, or actually lowered our bed, raised our floor. But now we're at the point where we need to mount the bed onto the frame. And we believe we're going to use body mounts.
Body mounts come in handy if you want to raise your body up on your truck, but for this particular project, because there's so much gap between said rail and frame, use a body lift to help support the weight.
Now you're probably asking why we didn't leave this rail down here. That has to do with the floor covering up our shocks. We need to raise the floor to cover our shocks, and this spacer allows us to do that. I'm sure there's other ways you could probably go around doing it, but it was the easiest that we came across. I was gonna use a 3-inch, it came up short, and then I was gonna put a hockey puck in between to make up the difference, but instead, we found 2-inch ones. So we're gonna lay 2 inches, that actually gives us the perfect amount, we're hoping, so we're gonna put them under here, and we'll look from the side and see if we're good.
Hopefully the bed sits nice, right where you want it.
I hope so. Want to pick this up for me?
Sure. That was loud.
That was loud. That's what I'm here for, loud things.
This side, of course, is heavier with a massive fender on it, but
Oh, come on, they're super strong now. He works out.
oh god,
Ooh, look at those muscles.
you can't tell I'm wearing
So,
heavy.
should I work slower? A little higher, thank you.
Got it?
Yeah. I didn't drop this one, I didn't want to be loud.
Sorry, I'm old.
We got one here. Uh-oh. Apparently,
Too high?
apparently these are
Oh,
holding
that's
it up.
okay.
But that's gonna create an issue because the tank's gonna hit.
That's where we kind of left off last time. We were having an issue with this cross member because it's so close to our fuel cell.
Yeah, in order to make this even off the frame, it is so close to making it, but we could take spacers out of the tank and lower it, but I think instead we're going to notch it, because I think I'm going to go with a bigger tank anyways later. So we're going to notch this to about the width of it, and then re-weld it in and make it like a tube instead of a C-notch. So we'll show you what we're about to do. show you what I'm explaining now, which doesn't sound like I'm explaining much. It just sounds like I'm talking in circles.
Tell you what, it's really good to keep my hands warm right here.
Oh, sure.
But looks good from my house. It'll hold.
It is
Very rigid.
it is
You're
strong.
not bending that.
And look at all that clearance. That's perfect.
Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. Should I get some bolts?
Actually,
Heavy. All right. You want one? Yes, I do.
so what we're gonna do now is, because this whole thing bolts together, we're gonna bolt these down, which will make them level on all corners. Then we're gonna put the bolts into the bed ends and bolt it in, make sure everything's square once we bolt it in on the end bolts, and make sure it's level when we're all said and done. We did put the frame back up on jack stands, so the frame is totally level and we're not going off suspension right now. So guys, I realized my Go-Go Gadget arms can't reach the front bolts.
What?
Yeah, so you know what that means?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Someone's gotta go underneath.
Rock, paper, scissors!
I would like to point out that this is the first one for 2025.
Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Oh! Oh! 2025 is my year. Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Ooh, rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Went back to rock, did he?
I guess this will be my neutral year.
They never get tired of watching you get down on the creeper, so.
I get tired of cutting down on the creeper.
Just in case anybody knows, yes, I am straddling him for the camera view. Wait until you go to the other side. It has fuel rails and brake lines in the way.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be wonderful.
No pressure.
And when we do this for the final time, you'll have electrical lines too. Just figured I'd,
Just keep compounding it.
You
yeah.
realize, of course, it could be you under there at that point.
Well, could be. Actually, by that time, it'll probably be on the lift, so.
That would be my luck.
That would be your luck.
Okay. How's the weather over there?
You want to just slide across, or are you gonna come on this side?
I don't think
There's no way
I
I'm
don't think he's sliding
sliding
across, dude.
Oh, come on now.
Like that's. I don't even think Squirrel could slide across that.
Oh, squirrel could have slid across.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
I can lower the truck. And
It's wintertime. Squirrel's been packing on
Oh,
winter
he
fur.
was nuts.
His winter fur.
Robo fingers for the win!
Should I make him crawl under there, Mike?
I feel bad. It's his first loss of the year. Just, if you can
Take
get,
it easy on him.
you can get to it. You know, I think that would be the best choice.
I'm trying my hardest. Have that wrench, please. Now he gets to go under there. So now we got a square and bus beds when we screw down the edges. What we're gonna do is measure from the body line to the bed on each side. Make sure it's square that way. Height wise, it is what it is. With the body mounts, you can't change it. But from front to back, we gotta make sure it's square. And
Right. Not cattywampus.
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 Cattywampus is the word of the day.
That is a professional word.
We got all the measurements in, we squared everything, tightened these bolts down, and we have a really sturdy bed.
Yeah.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised.
So next on our agenda, we have Rick, Mike, buddy Squirrel's over to help us out. We are lining this strap over this fender because we're gonna use this fender that came off of a long bed, and we are going to install it actually on the inside of this bed to cover up the tire. We're gonna use that angle iron there to support the inner side, but we're gonna show you all that in a split second once we get this all cut up.
Now we got the cut. That sounds like the cameraman, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I'm cutting it.
I mean, why not?
All right, looks like I'm gonna cut it.
You're a good cutter.
I'm a good cutter?
You're a good cutter.
I'm a good cutter. I'm a good cutter.
You got
Maybe
this.
I should cut it.
You want to cut
Maybe
it?
I'm gonna make
I
a
should
zigzag, make shark teeth.
Yeah, I'll cut it.
We now have 2 pieces.
Yep.
That's actually very nice cutting, Ricky.
Thank you. Give it a quick look see. We didn't weld this bracket in yet, but that's basically where it's going to sit. There we go. Wow. That is almost like flush with the top of the bed.
Actually looks pretty good.
I didn't realize it was going to be up that far.
Yeah.
We might have to lower that a little bit. But
This is generally how it's gonna look. We're gonna need to refine this inner fender, but this is our tub that we're gonna have for the rear tire.
yeah, I think I'm going to try to lower this to match this. I just sit on that lip that's up. There, something like that.
Yeah, that's roughly where the fender.
That's pretty close right there.
That actually looks good from, I like it at that height, so.
You might have to cut some of the bottom lip.
I'm literally right on top of it. I wanted to be over it.
Oh,
Like
I don't
that?
think we actually mentioned the reason why we were so concerned about being on the inside or the outside, depending on how you're looking at it, of our shock mount bar here. It's because we have a roll cage coming in. That won't be until a future video, but we're trying to keep it so we have the roll cage to go straight to the frame like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, the roll cage I'm hoping would be right here. So we didn't
Yeah.
want the fender, we didn't want to have to go through the fender in order to
Yeah,
drop
really.
the roll cage. We cut our angle iron, cut the end of the pipe off, so we have a little bit more clearance. I'd actually like a little more here, but I think we'll be all right with that. And so we want to test fit the rest of the fender?
Yep. Let me grab
Can you get the top, please?
Yep.
And Mike, you got my nuts and bolts?
I do, sir.
Thank you.
So this is the part of the red fender that we cut off. We are going to be welding this back onto the rest of the fender, but we're just doing it this way because it's going to be easier with making sure everything's lined up.
See how it's gonna sit.
Actually,
Perfect.
yeah, we got enough clearance in here.
Nice.
Look at that. Looks like a glove.
Yeah, it does.
All right, we took the fender back out one more time. We bolted this back in, and we're just gonna draw a line and make this match our inner fender well. We're gonna cut that out. We're gonna cut that out so that it doesn't look so jagged and looks real good from the inside. and so that the wheel never comes up and hits her. We'll have lots of clearance now.
Got these things in. We've had them in and out of the truck probably about 10 or 12 times now. But I believe we got them in the way we want them. Ricky's about to weld the piece of metal. He has a hard time remembering angle iron. And once these are welded in, they'll probably come back out again, but they'll be welded in. The support will be ready to go.
If you take notice, not to cut you off, Mike.
It's okay.
But when we were mocking this up, this angle iron was actually flipped the other way, but we decided to flip it on the top so that it would actually support the bed.
We got lucky because when we flipped them over, everything lined back up and we were able to bolt it back together and not have to really drill more holes.
And to piggyback off of what Rick was saying earlier before the time lapse that you guys seen, here is the finished product. Like he said, we have a lot more clearance now. It originally came down to here, so if we squatted quite a bit, there was a good chance that we were gonna basically just cut right into our tire.
I will say this though, it looks a lot nicer now. And
Yeah,
it looks, with this fender in there, it looks uniform. It looks like it's supposed to be there.
We are going to be going old school with the rear end. We have these hockey pucks that we already drilled a hole through, and we got most of everything prepped. We got this nice thick 1/4-inch steel.
Overkill, I think.
It is a little bit of overkill.
Definitely a little overkill.
But the way we're gonna stack it is we're gonna have the hockey puck resting right on the frame. We're gonna be welding our 1/4-inch steel right up top. We got the hole drilled out for it. We're gonna use these little rudimentary arrows that we made. And we're gonna be putting them right on the side to kind of really like hold in that plate.
Rudimentary arrows.
Rudimentary arrows.
I like that.
We're gonna go weld all that up so that we can use this puck as kind of like a body bushing like we're doing with everything And just like that, they are all welded in, which is great.
Yeah, I think they came out pretty good. I mean, the back of this thing's gonna be super strong.
Yeah, solid. Well, I can say this, in this video there's been tons of cutting, tons of drilling, tons of welding, tons of grinding. But all this work pays off because we got a lot done. It was productive.
Yeah, this bed's come a long ways. If you guys seen the videos before, I mean, we raised the floor and chopped it up and made all sorts of pieces, but it's finally coming back together. All we gotta do is we're gonna actually spot weld these fenders in, but you guys don't need to really see that. They're actually sturdy with just a couple of screws in it. And once we spot weld it in, we get to tear it all back apart so that we can paint everything that's gonna be underneath the floor. Nice to see it all come back together, so.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys for watching this video. We'll check you out next time, and we might have something special coming up very soon with information about the roll cage that we're going to be installing. See you guys later.
A lot of work ahead.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Catch you next
Later, guys.
time.